Alrighty. Boom, boom, chop, boom, 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 boom. Boom, chop, boom, 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 chop. Boom, 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 chop, boom, 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 chop. Boom, boom, chop, boom, 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 chop. Boom, boom. Boom! Huh. That lens has a dirty spot right there. Why does it not show up? It shows up there. You can see that right here on my shoulder. I gotta clean that little dirty spot. I could kind of see it right there. Oh, it's a little speck. The fuck? Weird. Oh, how did it make it any better? Alrighty. That's bothering me. God damn it. There it is. Got it off. Look. See? Less of it. It still has a little bit of a smudge left over there. Yeah. But we got most of it. Alrighty. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I got 120 questions left today. I'm just going to hop right in. I have to open a window. It's hot. It's hot. I have to open up a door and I have to open up a window. Be right back. 2 secs. I forgot to set this shit up. Oh, window's open. Huh. Whoops. I forgot about that fucking window open. Door open. Here we go. Alrighty. Much better. Okay. So, what are we gonna do? Okay, I have 120 questions to answer today. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna put on my glasses and I'm gonna get going. Sorry about that. I'm kind of out of it already. I woke up kind of late today, to be completely honest. Oh yeah, check it out. If you were watching this yesterday, so it was 171 gigs in total, and I got it down to 19. See? The power of compression and media management. All right, so let's clear this out. Alrighty, let's answer the next questionnaire. Just run it. Whatever one you think is most appropriate next, just do it. Hit me. So, yeah, last night I had a fucking crazy dream. Fucking asshole. Fly. 2 flies within a matter of seconds. No. You're kidding me. Alright, we got this. We got the fly swatter there anyway, just in case. God, I fucking hate flies. I had a crazy dream last night. Basically, the fucking... I had a dream where basically I ended up... I was a like a conqueror living in the time of Alexandria. Like the Library of Alexandria was still around. And I was basically like living in those times, but it was like it was post the Library of Alexandria. And that was like in the Dark Ages. But I also existed in the time of the Library of Alexandria simultaneously. And I was like existing in both times, except I was observing these like wax sculptures that were made out of candle, like candle wax sculptures that had all these different colors, and they were like poured in layers. And I was existing in those times as the candles were being poured, but I was also observing them after the fact, like years later, in this like, it's like a war-torn hall. And it had these like wax reliefs that somehow survived like hundreds of years. That had these like gorgeous colors, and I remember watching before going to bed, the color blue was super, super rare. Like the blue pigment, it was like a super rare pigment, so it had a bunch of blue in it and like different things like that. And I existed in both times. It was kind of crazy. And I remember thinking about the Library of Alexandria. I was also listening to I listen to these Buddhist stories before going to bed, like as I'm sleeping. And I guess the playlist kept playing through this time, and so it just kept playing all night. And I think one of the stories was about the Library of Alexandria. That's always captivated my imagination. The Library of Alexandria. It's one of my favorites. That's one of the biggest tragedies in human history, I would say, without a doubt. Okay. Yep, that's the wiki context is correct. Those are the default seeded keys. It exists in the actual create default config function within the JSON and DB backend file. They need to fix their fucking formatting. It's garbage. Wait, current week, I'm at 0? 10 p.m. on the 28th. What? That's 5 days away. What? That's 5 days away. Weird. Yes, dude. Oh my god, dude. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it did that. This is exactly what I've wanted this entire... I have the perfect system now. I finally fucking have it tuned in. I think this might be it. I have it dialed in. There needs to be a way to be honest, this is a thing that needs to happen for set up a new doc to be able to go back and set up my profile to be able to go back. That's a really, really big gap, without a doubt. At the very least, to be able to go back there. Just to clarify though, and also this is in relation to the gap. I mean this gap in the sense of being able to be from like step 1 of either or back to the setup choice screen. But this does not refer to the threads being able to press to go back. There's a ticket in relation to that, just so you know. But this is not in reference to that ticket, because that's different. That's the ability to go back within the actual individual flows, be it local setup or initialize doc steps. So it's like, that's not the same thing. It's the ability to go back from step 1 of either of those. Well, it needs to exist. The configuration needs to exist. File needs to exist. Otherwise, it's filling in nothing. Make it a mix of both. To be honest, it's technically both. Make it a mix of both. To be honest, it's technically both. I need robust error handling, but if the configuration manager doesn't show up, the app is broken. The file can't be missing. The file needs to exist in order for the application. It's the first thing it does. The application does as soon as it opens. It will always build it. It has to build it. If it can't build it, then it needs to confirm it exists. There needs to be some sort of confirmation mechanic that exists, and then if it hasn't built it after attempting, it should try again. Or there should be some other type of robust error handling for that. Reference to the same ticket as well, to be honest. Even the most recent one that we just added, 421. I mean, technically that refers to that one as well. Check out BT 101 and BT 152 as well. But yeah, that is silent technically on corruption. There needs to be handling for that. Guard railing for that. I said handling, not hand railing, but okay. Refer to the previous tickets that we just talked about, because this is in reference to that too. choice doc init. What parent component listens to the choice doc init signal? What happens if no signal handler is connected? What do you mean, what parent component? Oh, it launches the layout for the doc initialization. For the doc initialization, which also launches the thread. Did you check question 7 in relation to the code base? Okay. I don't think it's possible within the UI to do that. I don't think it's possible within the UI to do that. I think it already is guarded, but double check that. Why didn't I get any context for this one? In relation to question 8, should I explicitly guard against it? What do you think? Okay. Wow. Can you add it in the intent marker and then have it be added? Then that would make it so they add it into the actual wiki itself. Wiki context is correct. I think this kind of refers back to question 8 as well. Maybe, but I think it's implicit that it has implicit validation steps, not explicit ones. In the sense that it closes the windows. Not really. Not really. I mean, I think the decision and the fact that you're opening what you chose is enough validation. Or do you mean in terms of back end, like checking and stuff like that? Because that would kind of refer back to question 8 a little bit. Should I, because that kind of, once again, that ties back to question 8. Should I have something in place for that, for both cases? Both as the guardrail and as a validation. I mean, the validation step would be dependent, I mean, the guardrail would be dependent on the validation step. That's kind of why I keep saying that it's kind of related to question 8. Make it so. Make it so. I think this is a formatting tool. Visual formatting tool, maybe? Beforehand for being able to compensate in relation to... I really don't know that part, to be honest. Is that method basically like from PySide 6? And does it make it so you can like shrink and grow the size of the window? And I guess before and after would basically be before for the actual choice setup, and then after would be for whatever the choice is. I knew it. That sounds right. Run it. But I asked not to have fucking layout shit in my... this is all purely supposed to be backend. It's supposed to be pure backend. What happens if the UI window is resized to a very small size? Do UI elements maintain usability? I haven't tested that, to be honest, but honestly, we should add a ticket for UI stuff. Honestly, we should do UI testing. Yeah, but it's not my priority right now, not even close. Most of this is supposed to concentrate on backend anyway. And like the only front end I'm actually concerned with currently is front end that affects the backend or interacts with the backend. Is there validation or confirmation required before emitting? I think this works similarly to question 10. I think it already does this. I think this works similarly to question 8. I think it's pretty explicit because the other one says local setup. I mean, the other one is the one that should be renamed, to be honest, to set up account or something along the lines of that, because local setup is backend speak and we need something that's more front end facing in terms of the terminology there. But set up a new doc is pretty... front end facing, I think, already. It's pretty explicit. No. I thought that the button label itself was local setup already, but if it's already set up my profile, then fuck, that's correct. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to help my parents with some stuff. Okay. I had to help my parents with some stuff, so I had to go away for a split second, come back. Alrighty. Okay. Is there validation or confirmation required before admitting choice local setup? Once again, I think this ties back to the error handling systems. Maybe we should add that, but in all honesty, not necessary as of right now. Maybe worth adding to the error handling ticket that we have there in the previous questions. Should the button be disabled or show a loading state after being clicked? I mean, it's so instantaneous. It's such a small amount of memory and data. It's not really even worth it. So, I mean, having it be that's part of the other error handling system that we're talking about here. So I mean, might as well add it to that, but not really super necessary because it's so fast. I was making good time until I had to help my parents. That's okay. They needed help. I'm basically their computer person. I'm their in-house IT support. I already answered this question. So it's swapped, right? So it's the other one behind it doesn't exist anymore, correct? I believe that's the case. that would be the last guardrail that would need to exist in relation to the other errors that you pointed out, because technically they can occur in the sense of opening up other instances if it doesn't close the previous one. So that is an actual gap. Oh, it's not visible, but it is preserved in memory. I mean, it's worth just tearing it down then. Yeah, let's just go ahead and let's make that a I mean, is there a benefit to having it retained in memory? Because otherwise, if not, I'd rather just close it. Although it might also pertain to might need to be left in memory just in case we do have the back button in the future. So actually keep it in memory, yeah, and just make the note. What happens if the user closes this window without making a selection? Is there a fallback mechanism? There isn't one. There should be a gap there, so we should probably fill it. That's in the JSON and database backend. The create default config that's already exists there. That's defined there. Why am I re-answering questions I already answered? What? 5:30. 10 p.m. Resets at 5:30 p.m. 2% used. All right. Why 5:30? That's so random. There's a ticket in place in relation to this already, currently added to this. Wiki context is correct. Alright, it's doing its thing. Let's hope I don't lose power. Here's hoping. Thunderstorming.